My name is Eric. We're here at Holland Enterprises in Fargo, North Dakota. We're doing another interview with one of our drivers. Can you please tell everybody your name?
My name's Carrie Russell,
Carrie Russell, and where are you from originally?
Beaumont, Texas.
Beaumont, Texas. Okay. All right. So, how long have you been in the trucking industry?
Just a little shy of 29 years.
29 years. It's a good career. Good career. What made you decide to become a truck driver?
I'm actually a third generation driver.
Okay.
My mom and dad were in it. My grandpa was in it. And I had one grandpa that was, he spent 32 years as an engineer for Southern Pacific Railroad.
Okay.
So it's transportation's in the family.
It's in the blood. Yeah.
Besides farming.
Very good. What are some of the things that you particularly enjoy about being a driver that keeps you here, keeps you doing the things you do?
Well, the main thing that I see, there is beauty to it. You get to see a different sunrise and sunset every day.
Yeah.
And it keeps reminding me how beautiful this world is. And being a driver, I'm providing a service to other people. You know, making sure they have the food to eat, because all but 5 years of my career I pulled a reefer trailer.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah, that's one thing that we were running all the way through COVID, weren't we? With
oh yes,
making
sir.
sure that people were getting food.
Oh yes,
so,
sir.
Yeah. Anything else that you would really enjoy about it?
Well, you get to meet different people.
Yeah,
and
a lot of that.
I mean, I spent time in the military, and I didn't get to see a lot of the United States. And being a driver, I get to see places in the United States that most people don't get to see.
Right. Definitely a benefit. What are some of the challenges that you feel that a truck driver as a professional faces that other people in other professions don't?
Well, we have a set number of hours that we can work, which we've always had that.
Right.
But now with the electronic log, they're being enforced more. And it just seems that one of the biggest pressures are there are drivers out here that haven't realized how or don't want to learn how to manage their clock correctly.
Okay.
And I mean, it hurts to see the aggressive driving that some of the drivers do. Because I've always, even though I've had one accident, my career, and one preventable accident, I do my best to stay safe.
Yeah.
And to see the way that the quote-unquote ELDs have made life hard for drivers, actually it's made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
And a lot less stressful.
Yeah.
I mean, because you've got your old outlaws that know how to play the log book and know how to do it. Well, for us ones that are still around, we had to learn how to get into modern times. And it seems like a lot of the companies, not the ones that have been around and been well established, but you got some of these newer companies and some of the other companies, they push their drivers. And some of these new drivers, with the lack of training, they don't know their limits.
Yeah. Okay. While you're out there, do you participate in any hobbies? Do you have anything that keeps you interested, or any interests that you pursue while you're out there on the road?
I like going to casinos. I collect baseball cards while I can tell you where every casino in America's at. I collect baseball cards while I'm out there.
Very cool.
I do it for my grandson. I like to take walks along. If I can get up US 20 or 191, which is luckily some of our main routes going in through Yellowstone and that, I love to hit the wide spots, park, take my break, and go walk along the river.
Nice.
And that. And I like to park out of the way. I'm a nature lover.
Mm-hmm.
I love the outdoors. and where I can park, in like in a restaurant or something. And North Dakota's got some beautiful ones when all that white stuff ain't on the ground. But this is one of the prettiest states, and I didn't realize how much until like driving through back over here today because of how hard the winter was. It
Right.
was oh God, I forgot how pretty North Dakota is.
Yeah.
But it's basically I play on my phone. Casinos, baseball cards. I like watching TV.
Okay.
This stuff I like to read.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Do you have a pet?
No.
No pets. All right. You already talked about taking walks and stuff. That's what you do to stay active. Is
Yes.
try to get
Yes, sir.
outside. All right. How do you find it difficult to balance home life and work life sometimes?
Not here at Holland, I don't.
No?
I mean, I'm a workaholic, and I like to run. I stay out 4 or 5 months at a time,
Mm-hmm.
and when I put in for my home time, that's one thing I love about Holland. I'll put in for 10 or 12 days at a time, and there's nothing said.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't count the weekends toward that time off.
Okay.
Which, that gives an extra, that'll give it 2 weeks. People are like, well, how do you afford to take 2 weeks off at a time? That's usually your vacation. No, it ain't. That's my regular time, home time.
Right.
I said, I'm working all this time and I have money to go, and that was one of the things that drew me here to Holland was I heard how it's very easy. If you don't want to run hard, stay out 3 weeks, take 4 days off.
Mm.
And they're very, what's the words I'm looking for? They're very keen on who the runners are and who likes to take it easy.
Mm-hmm. They get to know their
they know their
very well.
drivers very well.
It may take a little while, but I think they've gotten they get a very good idea of who the drivers are and what they.
Yeah. I mean, that was one of the things I picked up real quick, because in my 5.5 years here, it didn't take them long to figure out I was a runner.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was like, and I think they enjoy it, and I enjoy staying busy because it keeps me from thinking about things that I don't need to be thinking about.
Okay. All right. What are some of the changes that you see that are positive in the industry in the last couple of years?
The equipment.
Okay.
The equipment.
How so? What do you mean?
Well, my last Freightliner, and don't laugh, my last Freightliner I ever drove, and I swore to God I'd never drive another one, was a 2004 Columbia. And when I couldn't figure out where they came up with the name Freight Shaker until I got in that truck. And when I came here to Holland and I found out they had Freightliners, it was like, oh, good God. Oh, good. But the best thing about it was, I started here 2017, January. And from the time I got into that truck to, I would say within a week to 2 weeks, all memories of that 2004 Columbia I had were gone, because it's like, damn, this Freightliner's like driving a Cadillac. I mean, just the quality of the equipment had changed so much.
Right. Feature comforts and
the feature comforts. I mean, you come here, they've got the satellite TV, you've got the XM radio paid for you, and me being from Texas, we're football fans.
Right.
And when I find out January is right smack in the middle of football season, well, they got the NFL package. Hot dog. Here we go, Cowboy fan.
Right.
But I mean, it's just the equipment has gotten better over the years.
Okay.
And you've got, once again, it's like the e-logs. You've got to learn to adapt and go with it.
Yeah.
Because I've driven everything. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I've not driven a Mack. And I've not driven an international. But as far as Peterbilt's, I've driven 379s, 386s, W9 with the extended hood. You know, and it's just like, it just amazes me over time because how far they've advanced.
Right.
Over, because I was an owner off before I came over here.
Okay.
And I knew what my Pete could do. I knew what I knew everything. And to come over here to see, because my Peterbilt was a 2006, so we're talking 16, almost 11-year difference between the Freightliner here, and it was like, holy cow!
Yeah.
Holy cow!
Big differences. Yeah.
Big difference, even with the trailers. I mean, I can remember when the utility trailers in the early 2000s, they sounded like freight trains coming down there.
Yeah.
And now you start these up and it's, damn, is my unit on?
Yeah.
You gotta check. And I mean, I've had older hands, when I park, they'd be like, Holland, your unit on? They'll go look at it. That thing's negative 10.
Yeah.
You can't even hear it. You just hear a little buzz when it starts, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good equipment. It's good equipment.
Excellent equipment. Buzz when it starts, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good equipment. It's good equipment.
Excellent equipment.
So you said you've been working here for 5.5 years then, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are some of the things that you really, I mean, you've named a number of them already, but anything else that you really appreciate about working here at Holland Enterprises?
The respect.
What do you mean?
They respect their drivers here.
Okay.
They don't micromanage them. When you get hired on here, you're expected to know how to do your job. You shouldn't have to be babysat.
Right.
And they'll help you along the way if you've never pulled reefers before. There's a difference, between never pulling a reefer and needing babysitting service.
Right.
And they'll help you, if you have trouble like with the unit or whatever, codes come up. We have experienced dispatchers that have been working with reefer division for so long that if they can't help you walk through it, they got our shop guys who are the bomb.
Yeah.
I mean, they are awesome. And but I like the fact they don't micromanage us, which falls into, again, once you're hired to know how to do the job, they don't need to tell you, well, you need to get up and get moving, that load needs to be there on time.
Make sure you stop here for fuel.
Yeah, stop here.
Yeah, drive this far today. Yeah.
Our fuel things are the Loves and the Pilot's Flying J's. They don't care where you fuel as long as it's one of them two places, unless you need emergency reefer fuel.
Right.
And I also like the fact, and this is very important, when they tell you it's a small family company here, I don't know how many people realize it. We have got our third generation, Holland, starting to learn the ropes here.
Yep.
And I've talked to people like that, and they're like, well, what do you mean? I said, you got grandpa, you got aunt and dad, and then you got the grandsons.
Yep.
And I said, they're like, holy cow, it's truly a family. I said, it is truly a family-run outfit.
One thing just to add to that, one thing that I was impressed with is they run through, when you're learning the business, they worked out in the shop, they work here in safety, they're doing dispatch.
I mean, when I first hired on here, and I didn't realize who he was at the time, still embarrassing. Tyler was out in the shop.
Yeah.
Busted tire. And I mean, being from Texas, I told him, I said, damn, he's good looking.
Okay.
I did not know who he was, up until just about a year ago, he's finally let me live that down.
You're funny.
But that was one way to meet, and you don't see that anymore. Well, you got so many companies saying, well, we're a family-run company. How many actual family members work in that company?
Right.
That's what I look at is, if you're gonna call yourself a family-run company, have family members working in there.
I do. Yeah.
And here they do, and you are able to talk to all of them.
Yeah.
And they respect the drivers for what we do, and we respect them for what they do.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a good situation.
yeah, it is. It's very, very relaxed here.
Yeah.
Sometimes, are we spoiled? Yes, we are. We are spoiled pure rotten. I mean, sometimes I feel we're too spoiled sometimes.
Oh.
But when you do good, you got a good safety record like we got.
Yeah.
You can afford to be spoiled, I reckon.
Well, they take care of you, and it makes
That's it.
Yeah.
It's like an old saying that I had one of my drivers tell me. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Yeah.
You make me look good, I'll make you look good.
Yeah.
And even our customers that we go to, they know that if they see a Holland Enterprise truck come up, one, the product's going to be in good shape.
Yeah.
It's going to be in that trailer the same way it was loaded in it.
Yep.
The equipment's going to be in good shape. Trailer's going to be in good shape. And for the most part, except for wintertime where they're on time.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's where we don't always have.
Yeah, because for some reason these folks in North Dakota, they like to run up here where that white stuff is.
Yeah.
I ain't convinced them to go down south.
Very nice.
To run stuff in.
Yeah.
I ain't convinced them to go down south.
Very nice. So if you met up with a new driver to the industry, or a new driver to Holland Enterprises, what kind of advice would you give them?
Have fun. Well, if they're new here, that means they've got a little bit of experience to the industry.
Mm-hmm.
I would tell them have fun, relax, and enjoy.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you like to run, they will run you.
Yeah.
I mean, just tell them how you like to work, and they'll work with you. Just take care of their customers, take care of them, and they'll take care of you.
Right on.
And to a new person to driving, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Good advice.
Because we all had to start somewhere.
Yep.
And
one thing that I've seen by and large from most of the truck drivers is that they're willing to help, especially if it's respectful requests. So. Yeah.
And the one thing that scares me about new drivers with little or no experience, you can tell by the training company, when you're backing into a spot, backing is one of the most dangerous things we do because we don't do it every day.
Yep.
Take your time. You're not in a race to beat anybody. And if you're in a tight spot, ask for help.
Yep.
And be willing to listen if you ask for that help.
Yep.
I mean, hell, we all had to start somewhere. We all had to ask for help.
We did. All right.
Lord, and some of us needed help backing up more than others.
Some of us did.
And now I can put it wherever they want.
Right on. Well, do you have anything you want to add?
Holland Enterprises is a great company, and just if you decide to give them a chance, you won't regret it. I mean, talk to some of their drivers. Well, we don't bite. We're nice people. It'll be one of the better choices you've made. In your career.
Yeah.
I mean.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Carrie. I appreciate your time and your help. Be safe out there. And if you need anything, you know where to call. So.
Always.
All right.